Susie Kelly. I'm from the state of Maryland, division of the 529. And currently in Maryland, we have 2 plans for saving for college. Where's my clicker? No, he was supposed to be sitting over there to turn the pages. Thank you. So this is just a brief snippet, okay? If you invest in a 529 plan and you saved $106 a month for 15 years, T. Rowe Price is getting 6 to 8% interest currently, you would save $25,000 in 15 years. If your child goes and gets a loan, they will pay about $320 a month 10 years after they graduate to the tune of $38,000. So you can see it's a lot better to save $25,000 than spend $38,000. You can go ahead and change that. Does Maryland offer the families a tax-deferred savings option for college? Yes, we do. We have 2. You can go ahead and change it. We have the prepaid trust, which allows us to lock in tomorrow's college tuition based on today's prices and helps us to hedge against future increases. We do that by getting 6 to 9% at T. Rowe Price from the time you get into our plan till the time your child is 18 years old, and then we pay out the funds so that they can attend any college. It doesn't have to be a Maryland college. Then we have the investment plan. The investment plan is managed by T. Rowe Price as well, and it offers a variety of options. Basically, that works just like your 401k. You can put in as little as $25 a month, and you can just watch it grow. Put in more as you can. Maybe you get a bonus. Maybe grandma gives your child a $100 check, and you just keep on funding it just like your 401k. Many of the people in this plan have it as a direct payroll deduction, just like their 401k. So if you worked for Montgomery County or Montgomery County Public Schools or Montgomery College, you probably could have a direct payroll deduction. Any investment in both these funds is Maryland and federally tax-free when it is taken out and used for education. Now our 401ks, when we take it out, we're going to have some taxes to pay. But when we take out our 529 plan for our children when they go off to college, it is Maryland and federally tax-free. Go ahead and change it. Are there any other additional tax benefits? Currently in Maryland, on both the prepaid trust and the investment plan, you can deduct on your Maryland tax return up to $2,500 a year. So if you put in $500 a year for your child, that is a $500 tax deduction on your Maryland return. If you have grandma and the parent are doing it, mom would get a $2,500 tax deduction and grandma would get a $2,500 tax deduction. If you have 2 children and you're putting in, say you're putting in $100 a month for each. So you'd have a $1,200 deduction for your one child and you'd have another $1,200 deduction for your other child. You can change that. Are there any age or residency restrictions? Can I enroll at any time? The prepaid trust enrollment is closed right now. It reopens December and it goes through May. The reason being, they are doing all the calculations and getting everything ready, and they pay that out in August. So June to August is when the children are going off to college. So during that time, the fund is not open. So basically what we do is on the prepaid trust, you have to be a resident of Maryland or DC, and it's only open to 12th grade. The prepaid trust is a fixed dollar amount every single month. The Maryland investment plan, you can enroll at any time. There's no restriction on residency, and children and adults can both go in the plan. And this is completely different simply because it's based on what you want to put into it. This is a fixed payment. Okay, so Maryland is in the name. Can the plans only be used at Maryland colleges? You can go ahead and change it. With the prepaid trust, you can use it at in-state and out-of-state colleges, at 2-year community colleges like Montgomery College, and the prepaid trust only covers tuition and mandatory fees. The investment plan covers tuition, mandatory fees, it covers room and board, it covers books, and some years it even covers laptops and iPads. Okay, and let's see here, what is this one? Yeah, any college, university, vocational, or other post-secondary educational institution eligible that is published in the IRS publication 970. Any school that is accredited in this publication as a university, a community college, a vo-tech school is allowed to be using these plans. This plan is strict for colleges, but this plan, we can actually go to tech school, We can go to IT tech, we can go to auto tech, cosmetology. So this plan is really very flexible for all types of education. Let's go ahead and change that. I don't have a lot of extra money in my budget. Does it cost a lot to get started? I'm going to start here with the investment plan to make it easy. You can do it as $25 a month, or you can do it as $250 in a check for the whole year and be done with it and start the plan. You can choose your own options if you like, because some of the you people would like to fool around with investments, or T. Rowe Price will choose your options for you to make you the most money. Again, you can systematically have it come out of your bank account or your payroll account, and then make additional contributions for birthdays and holidays and grandparents. This plan works a little differently. When you become enrolled in the prepaid trust, you basically say, I want to buy a 4-year university plan. I want to buy 2 years at the community college and 2 years at the university. I'm going to assume my child's going to go to Montgomery College and then off to Maryland or wherever she goes. Basically, though, in order to keep the cost down, you could just buy a semester at a time, whether it be a university or community college. And the sooner you start on the prepaid trust, the smaller these payments are going to be. So as an example, just to make it simple for you, I have a child that's 0 years old. She's just born. At 18, she's going off to college. We're going to buy a 4-year university plan. 4-year university plan currently for our children that are graduating right now this year and going off to college is worth about $44,000. So you can easily do the math and backtrack and say, I have 18 years to raise this $44,000 at 6 to 9% interest. Basically, that's what my payment would be monthly. So as you see, if you're in the prepaid trust, the earlier you start, the lower your payment's going to be. Over here, you can put in whatever you want. Go ahead. Would I lose my savings if my student does go to college or gets a scholarship? Okay, we'll start with the prepaid trust again. If your child is a genius and they get a full tuition ride, it may not cover room and board. So you would transfer from the trust, this is the trust, Maryland Prepaid Trust. You would transfer from the trust over to here, and you can now use it for room and board and books and everything else, okay? If your child decides not to go to college at all, you can transfer it to another family member, another child. You can use it yourself to go to graduate school. If worse comes to worse, you can take a distribution. If your money's been in the plan for more than 3 years, you will take a 10% penalty on your interest only. Just like your 401k, if you take it out too early, you are going to have a 10% penalty on interest if this fund that you have accumulated isn't used for education. I also want to say this about both plans. Your child decides to like one of Obama's children. She took a year off before she went off to Harvard or Princeton or wherever she went. Your child has up to the age of 26 to use the plan. If they are in the military, they have an additional 10 years to use the plan. So the money just continues to grow and grow and grow. So it's hard to determine our child's future. Are they really going to go to school? Are they going to go in the military? Are they going to take a couple years off? The fund just continues to grow. Go ahead and change. How do I enroll? On the prepaid trust, you would select your tuition plan. Do I want to buy a semester, 2 semesters? Do I want it to be community college? Do I want it to be university? How am I going to pay it? And complete our enrollment form. And here is our dates. We're going to be opening the prepaid trust on December 1st, 2008, and it will close on May 31st, 2019. That's not correct. Okay, in the college investment plan, basically, and by the way, I have packets downstairs that I can give you to do this, or you can go on to www.maryland529.com and do it yourself. You would choose one or more of investment options if you'd like to tweak with your options, or you just say, let T. Rowe Price manage the fund. Choose how often you want to contribute, and complete the enrollment form for each child. Go ahead. And that's about it in a nutshell. I mean, that's a huge overview and a lot of information, but it really is a simple thing. We have 2 plans. One's like a 401k. One's going to be a set payment, like a car payment or an insurance payment. So basically, that's it in a nutshell. But for as little as $25 a month, you can start saving for college. Maybe as you get further into the workforce, as the children are growing, you'll make a little bit more money. You can put a little more in. Maybe you get a bonus. Maybe, as I said, grandparents on birthdays. I am a grandparent. 3 of my children are in the fund already. Basically, every birthday, they get a $50 check or a $100 check, and it goes right into the fund. Grandparents can do it themselves. Just push a button on the screen and set it up into their fund. So, any questions?
So I have one senior and then 2 middle schoolers.
Okay.
So I think the middle schoolers with the 2-year program to start saving now would probably work better for me.
That is correct. Now,
So
your
am I
senior,
able
though,
to- okay, go ahead.
your senior, if you started saving something for her now, she would use it in her senior year of college or into her master's degree.
Okay, so
3
if
years in the
I
fund.
started putting money away now for my senior, and he could use it for his senior year of college. He's going to go to 2-year transfer to Maryland. So you're saying he could use it for the
his
last
senior
semester
year.
of. Okay.
So it's 3 years in the fund, and then you can pull it out.
Okay.
Right. And your middle schoolers, yes, start now.
Right.
And at the middle school level with 3 children, I think I would do the investment plan. It might be easier for you.
Okay.
But if you came into some money and would like to basically, get into the prepaid trust and have a chunk of money and buy a couple semesters at Montgomery College,
Yeah.
that could work.
Okay.
Now, as I said earlier, with the prepaid trust, sometimes people have a hard time understanding it. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to say, my child's going off to college, all right, this year. And this year, the current rate it is paid is $11,000 a year for Maryland colleges. So if your child goes to Penn State, we're writing a check to you for $11,000. It's now going to Penn State. It's just not going to a University of Maryland school. So they will pay it directly to your college, $11,000 a year for our graduating seniors this year. So it's a very set amount on the trust. It's a set payment. The investment plan is just like 401k. Put in what you want to put in.
And maybe you said this, and I just really
No problem.
But if you start your son as a senior and you start now after in the middle between 1 to 3 years, can you do a toggle if you come into some more money?
Sure.
If you start with the MCPT, can you transfer to the MC?
The investment plan.
The investment
So this is the prepaid trust investment
Yeah.
plan. Most of our parents have funds in both accounts. All right, so they buy what they can as far as the university level to make sure they have that tuition. They have a little bit more over here in room and board.
But if you start off with the MC, the trust, and you realize you want to do the other one,
They'll transfer.
you can,
Not a problem. You can transfer. You can also miss a payment. Say you get into a bind and you can't make a payment, you just call the Baltimore office and they'll reschedule that payment for a later date. Also, sometimes, my parent, say, passes away and I come into a little bit of money and I want to put it away for my child. You can always dump that money in 1 year. Say your mom died and she left you $25,000. You could dump it in 1 year, and for the next 10 years, you will get a tax deduction of $2,500 a year. So,
Try to write down so I can remember my question.
and by the way, I'll be downstairs on the 3rd floor. I have packets, and I can answer all these questions too if you come up with anything you need to know.
So you have to have a set, could you go, if there's a set amount on the MCPT, could you go over that amount, or you always have to pay that set amount?
That'll be a set amount.
You couldn't go over it?
No, because it would be basically, it's like a car payment. What is the note we're paying off? Well, the note we're paying off for 4 years of university right now is $44,000. It's always going to be that set amount all the way through.
And the T-Row, you could pay as much as you want into it?
Yes. Both are managed by T. Rowe Price. Okay? T. Rowe Price manages the trust.
Okay.
But they give you a little bit more flexibility about managing it any way you want it on the investment plan because it's a much more flexible plan. So if you're over, say you wanted to pay over on your prepaid trust, you would open the investment plan and put it over there.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you, Suzanne. Like she
Thank
said, if you have any other questions, she has a table on the 3rd floor. So in interest of time, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next presenter. Her name is Suzanne Kozlov, and she is a financial aid counselor here at Montgomery College.
Hi guys, let me just set up.
Do you need someone to click for you?
Yeah, if I could, a slideshow from beginning. Okay, welcome to the Single Parenting Conference. I need to gauge how many people are coming in to school for this fall semester. Is anybody registered? Have you actually registered for your classes? Registered. Then I have some parents who are, you're registered? I haven't, but I am going. Registered. I have some parents who also have seniors, so this is going to be kind of like a double take. This is called paying for college for you and your child. So therefore, we're going to talk about, it's going to go fast. I'm going to go real fast. Time is money. We're going to find out who you are and who does your child want to be. Do you want to be an accountant, a nurse, a maid, manager, a teacher? What jobs do you see yourself doing that can get you a good job? We live in the Washington, D.C., capital of the world. Go ahead. We have go ahead, do internships. We have affiliations, associations, nonprofit organizations. In the summertime, do those internships. Shadow those professional people. Those are people you're going to be in your contact. Once you pick a major, then we're going to see you to graduation. We're going to find out how many classes you're going to be registered for. You're buying something. You're buying an education. How much does that education cost? 12 credits and over is considered full-time. What's half of 12? Quick. 6. 6, 7, and 8 is half-time. 9, 10, and 11 is called three-quarter time. So these are the categories that we have. But guess what? As parents, not only as students, you got to budget work, friends, activities, families, homework. As parents, you got to balance your child getting sick, your work saying you got to work overtime, and then you got to get to class really fast. So you got a lot of things to worry about. And so now we got to think. We're buying something extra than our utilities, our car payments, our cell phones. We got tuition and fees as our new expense. We have books and supplies. These are our direct expenses, as much as teenagers when they're going off to college thinking about living off or on campus. Transportation, do I buy my child a new car? Where's the ride-on? How much can I get the ride-on for free? As a Montgomery College student, you can get the ride-on for free. And then there's miscellaneous personal expenses like food, you know. Food is something that we have here at Montgomery College. I'm going to tell you all, it's a free market. So twice a month, twice a month, you get free groceries. And I'm talking bags of potatoes, onions, cabbage. They set you up, don't they? They set you up. So we're talking about financial aid. And financial aid is like an umbrella of different kind of programs, okay? When people think about financial aid, they're thinking about the programs of this big umbrella, which are grants. Grants are money you don't have to pay back. Scholarships, money you don't have to pay back. Loans, money you got to pay back with interest. And jobs on campus. That's kind of how I started here in financial aid. My mother was a single parent with 2 kids. And she was abused. So she said, I'm going to get out of this situation, going to get a college education. She didn't care about her abusive situation. She didn't care about language. She came from another country. She interpreted that dictionary every day, and she worked, and she got 2 diplomas, art and childcare. So when she graduated, guess what? I came into Montgomery College and I got the first alumni scholarship because my mom graduated. I came in and I got the first alumni scholarship. And then they said, you know, I was familiar with the financial aid office because my mom was there. They're like, well, I want a job. Where would you like to work? And I said, in an office like this. So here I got my professional job just because my mom went to college. Grants. There are 3 types of grants. The Pell Grant, the Supplemental Grant, and the Board of Trustees Grant. All this by applying for financial aid. Loans are money you got to pay back with interest. I didn't update that. Take this out. We have 2 kinds of loans, the Stafford loan and then the PLUS loan. Oops. Jobs on campus, we have 2 programs, and scholarships. I'm going to go into greater detail. We live in the state of Maryland, so we have senatorial scholarships and delegate scholarships. All right, quickly. We got the loans. Loans are money you got to pay back with interest. 2 kinds of loans. The subsidized loan where the government pays the interest while you're in school. Anything that's called subsidized, the government pays the interest while you're in school. The unsubsidized is where you have to pay the interest while you're in school. The thing is, the interest changes every July 1st, and currently there's a 1% fee taken out. How much can you get? Not very much. I'm going to tell you. It's not very much. $3,500 for a whole year, okay? $3,500. So that's $1,750 for the fall, $1,750 for the spring. By the way, fall is September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. 4 months of a commitment. Then you got spring, January, February, March, April, and May. So you're buying 4 months of an education. And you know what? 12 credits cost about $2,000. So this is not even enough to pay for one full-time semester. Tamika? So they give you additional $2,000 in the unsubsidized loan. Parents, if your child's going off to college, you want to get a parent loan so that they can, have their education paid for. Your parent can get loan. All these loans, you have to be at least 6 credits. The student has to be registered for at least 6 credits. That's half time. Oops. Scholarships. Okay, I started my child's resume, being in financial aid forever, when they were 13 years old, that middle school, okay? Did they play an instrument? Did they volunteer in Cub Scouts? Did they do the SSL hours? Every SSL hour, put that on your resume. Start that, but guess what you're gonna need? Not only that, when I came up to the scholarships, they needed those recommendations from the teachers. And you gotta hound down that teacher. Where's that recommendation? We got the Coca-Cola, the Pepsi, every kind of organization has a scholarship. Montgomery College has a website, I tried to put that, go ahead, of different scholarships. The Montgomery College Foundation scholarship application is on our website. Oh, let me go. There you go. Go ahead. So when you click on that, we also have the Maryland Higher Education Scholarship website. This is their web page. Go ahead. So they have all of these scholarships. Next. I told you, I say a lot and I say it fast. I'm going to stop for a second. Does anybody have any questions about grants, loans, scholarships so far? I'll take any questions at the end. The thing is, you'll have to fill out the financial aid form once a year, every year. Once a year, every year. So the 18-19, you should have really done that a while ago. For your senior now, do that this October 1st. He's got to get that. And the thing is, we use the last taxes that we filed. Here, the last taxes we filed was 2016 income information. Here, we'll be using your 2017 tax information because we haven't done 2018. So this is what the website looks like. Brand new. Start here. Next. This is the hardest part of the whole financial aid process. Getting a username and user password. Sometimes you forget the password. This can take me a half an hour to loop because I forgot this and it didn't go to that right email. Next. So this is going to be the hardest part. Now, the easiest part of this whole thing is you click and download your tax information from the IRS right into the FAFSA. Cool? From the IRS right into the FAFSA, IRS data retrieval. It takes about, when I can use my, when you do it,
It's immediate when you download.
Right.
You don't have 3 weeks to get it mail.
Okay, this is going to be the problem, all right? Parents filing status, if it's separated or you're head of household, it might not go through, or if they amend it. So these are the problems.
It does.
It does still go through?
I did mine, but it didn't went through. I have to go to IRS to get that.
Right,
Yeah,
and then you got to get the tax transcripts. That's the problem.
They had to email the copies.
Right.
Then
And then, but they need it from the IRS because people kind of not did so well on filling out the correct information. Ms. Kozlov, I filled out the FAFSA. What do I get? What do I get? You get an expected family contribution. The expected family contribution is used to determine, are you eligible for that Board of Trustees grant that the college gives, or University of Maryland grant that University of Maryland will give. It goes from school to school, so it doesn't change. Now, quiz time. I talked to you about what a budget is, right? Now, the cost of attendance, the colleges itself create what we call a cost of attendance, because we calculate your direct expenses, tuition and fees and books and supplies. Your indirect expenses as your transportation and miscellaneous. Tamika? Just right on time. So, go ahead. We take the cost of attendance minus the expected family contribution, and then we get the financial need. See if you can get that subsidized loan, or that Board of Trustees grant, or that federal work study. But it's step 1, step 2, and step 3. When you fill out the FAFSA, done. That's not the only thing you got to do. You got to turn in those additional forms. When you turn in those additional forms, you got to make sure that there's no problems. Follow up. Montgomery College MyMC. Click. You go to your MyMC portal. You'll go to the financial aid tab. And that's it. So I'm going to talk a little bit. Not too much, because I really don't know very much. Am I supposed to be talking about this? Okay, okay. So next year, there's a program coming out. I wanted you to be aware of this program. I'm not very aware until this workshop came out, okay? It's kind of called the Community College Promise Scholarship. Go ahead. So there's a lot of provisions for this scholarship. If you pay in-state tuition, I'll give you a minute. Enroll for your high school senior, enroll as a candidate for vocational certificates within 2 years of graduating from high school. Okay. Get a good GPA. They don't want someone who's like not caring about going to college. They want somebody with a 2.3 grade point average of 4 point. And has an adjusted gross income of less than $100,000 if they're single, or $150,000 if they're married. But you got to be at least rolled for 12 credits per semester. You got to fill out the financial aid form because it's called last dollar, which means fill out the FAFSA. See if you're eligible for grants. You don't have to get the loans. And, you know, really, that's all I got to say about that because I don't know what the details of that are. But we do have deadlines because Montgomery College, although we will take students, and that's why I asked how many people have enrolled in school yet, because if you registered for your classes, but you didn't pay last Wednesday, your classes were deleted. So they delete every Wednesday. So registering for classes, yes, you got to pay for their classes when? By the deadline date. And the next deadline date is this Wednesday coming up. So see the financial aid office for help to pay for those classes that you want to get into for this fall semester. And I'll see, oh, this is the college information. So we have Germantown campus, it's called the Science and Applied Studies Building, Rockville campus, the Student Service Building, and then Tacoma Park, the Student Services Building as well there. And then I will see you guys at graduation.
For the Maryland Scholarship Program, it
Yes.
has to be within 2 years, so my son graduated 2016.
That's the college promise. That's the college promise. That's not financial aid.
2 years of graduation?
That's what I,
Correct. It does have to be within 2 years of graduation.
so,
So 2018 graduates will be the first year, 2019 graduates will
So
be the
not
second
before
year.
18.
Not
okay.
before 18.
any other questions? Filling out the FAFSA is intimidating, but don't let it become, because all it is a click, a clock, and you're done.
Well, thank you, Susan, for presenting. And I did want to let you know that Montgomery College will be having something that we call FAFSA Fever on October the 14th, which is a Sunday. So even if you're not planning on coming to Montgomery College, this is an event that we have every year where the financial aid office and other representatives of the college get together to help you fill out your FAFSA. So if it's you, if it's your child, if you have any questions about taxes or anything like that, you can come to the event on October 14th. It's at the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus, and we will assist you in filling out your FAFSA application and answering any questions that you may have about the process. And like I said, you don't need to be coming to Montgomery College. You just need to be going to a college and need help filling out the FAFSA to attend the event. Okay, and so our final presenter for today is Cathy Giovannetti. She's with Montgomery College Continuing Education and Workforce Development. Go right on ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So good morning. I am talking about the non-credit courses at the college. We have a variety, a huge variety of, certification courses that we offer through non-credit. I believe everyone has one of these in their bag today, and I just wanted to briefly show you and orient you a little bit. This is our fall course schedule, and then the very first page, if you look, you can see the huge variety of courses in the categories. There's health sciences, there's the construction trades, there's IT courses and certifications here, early childhood, and even veterinary assistant. And right next to that, you can see contacts, which are email addresses or phone numbers. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to call to get more information if you're interested in one of these job paths and certifications and licensing. And in the back, if you know specifically what you're interested in, you can look it up in the back in the index alphabetically by the course name or by the category of the trade that you're interested in. So today, we'll go back to the focus of the session, which is the funding for workforce development. And I had a handout. I hope everyone got one today. And this is just a few of the funding opportunity facts for non-credit courses. First of all, I would like to point out that there is no federal aid for the non-credit courses at this time. So that leaves us with the following sources that I know of, which is your personal financing out of pocket. Employers or other organizations might sponsor you, third-party sponsorship, and you come with a voucher or some proof that these individuals or organizations are going to pay for you in order to register. You do have to have proof of payment up front, 100%, in order to get registered in a non-credit course. Government agencies, such some social agencies or workforce agencies, will also fund training for individuals. And there are some grant-funded programs. We still have some very large grants that focus on certain populations of students, and there are some eligibility requirements there. Currently, we have grants that deal with cybersecurity IT, grants that also have in the health industry, and they have also wraparound or English language assistance that goes with those that are embedded in those course opportunities as well. WDC and the MC Foundation have scholarships opportunities. We have a good partnership. And I'm going to show you in just a minute the website for one we call Career Path Scholarship Opportunity that is offered twice a year for the fall registrations. Actually, that one just closed yesterday, as timing would have it. But it opens up again for the spring when the registration period opens up for the spring courses. So we also have tuition installment plans, which is somewhat of an opportunity for some people. It's a 3-payment plan or a 50-50 plan. So if you are registering in non-credit courses or certification programs that are over $900 combined all in for tuition and fees, you have the opportunity to enroll in one of these in the tuition installment plan. It will cost you $35, however. So the Career Path Scholarship Opportunity, it does have some criteria caveats to it. It's offered fall and spring. It's up to $1,000 to cover tuition and fees, and it's a one-time award per student. So if you apply and you get approved and awarded funds, then that opportunity is done for you, so use it wisely. There is a financial need criteria. It's a 4-page application, and there's a variety of eligible programs for this opportunity, and there's a list that is also on the website for the courses that are funded through this. So let me just show you quickly. We've all been...
Excuse me, when is the registration for the apply for the tuition?
For the tuition installment plan?
No, the one that you say that.
The Career Path Scholarship Opportunity?
Yes.
Okay, so that opens up, I believe the fall registration opened up July 23rd, and that's when it opened up. And then we had a couple-week period that just ended yesterday for people to get their application in and submit it to be considered. It is a competitive pool. There is a finite amount of funding. We try to grow it, and the foundation has been our friend, and there are donors that actually donate, or organizations that donate funding, and they have specifics, like they might donate this funding for health science programs or donate this pot of funding for construction management. So we try to use that wisely and spread it as well as we can among all the students that apply, if they are eligible. So now I might need a bit of assistance. I just want to get to the website to show you where the information is.
And while they're pulling that up, I do want to let you know that I gave you an evaluation, so I just wanted to make sure that you fill that out and hand it to me before you leave.
So if you go to here, apply and register, and you go to non-credit courses, and okay. And you go up here, this is our non-credit website coming up, A to Z, and you go for S for scholarships, and then you go to scholarship opportunities. Okay, and this is the web page. As you can see, it has the career path scholarship opportunity is right here at the top of the page. Okay, so you click on that, and a whole bunch of information comes up to explain it. There's FAQs here, eligible course list, and the application packet itself, and the schedule of classes here that you can link into, and the financial eligibility chart as well. So I could click on every one of these links, but I just wanted really to show you to get you oriented so you understand. So there is a little bit of work in the application. It's 4 pages. We want you to tell us your personal information, of course, identifying information, what you're interested in, and then we want you to write a little essay, a couple lines about why you're interested in that. A little bit of your volunteer work history, so what you've been doing with your time. Also, there's a letter of recommendation that we want from a community member or leadership. It can be employer, a church leadership, an educator, someone who can support you in your endeavor or what you're going for. And then there's financial documentation. So we do ask for your tax information from the most recent year to prove your level of income, so we know that you are within that threshold for being eligible for the financial need. So, any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, so let's
Thank
give
you.
our presenters a round of applause. Thank you very much to Suzanne, Cathy, and Susan.